you guys just take over the entire city, or at least parts of it. Is there a particular story in which you flirted with danger that maybe you can tell the audience, to give them a picture into what your life could be like?
I mean, flirting with danger, I don't know. I've been doing it for such a long time now that unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't look at it as dangerous anymore. It becomes like part of your daily. Most of the West Coast rides will have helicopters on us and all that stuff. Like, that's not
You
really...
had to run from helicopters?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Can you tell us what that is like? Because that to me seems like a daunting task. How do you get away from a helicopter?
There's several ways that stunt riders will get away from helicopters. One of the easiest and most reliable ways is bringing them to an international airport, because the planes are coming in low on fuel, and they're not going to let that helicopter into their airspace. Some of those smaller private airports, they'll let the helicopter go through and whatnot. But when we've been in Arizona or Los Angeles, that's one of the most common things those guys will do. Obviously, I'm not a local from there, so I'm just following the pack. But you can tell, like, okay, the helicopter's on us. Okay, now we're going towards the airport. Okay, I understand what's going on. They want to bring that helicopter into the airport's airspace.
It's very sophisticated. Like, it's always interesting to me, like, within this world, there is a rule book, but there's always a way to kind of navigate around the rules a little bit. Right. And it seems so it's taking the police that are chasing you into a no-fly zone is the way to kind of get out of Dodge.
Yeah, in some cities, yeah. You know, we're extremely blessed here in Chicago. We don't have that problem, and I thank God for that. But in other cities that we go to, especially in the wintertime, you know, Texas, Florida, Arizona, Cali, they're pretty rough. They're really rough, and they look at stunt riding as an actual crime. Here in Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Louis, they have bigger fish to fry, and they look at it as what it is. It's a victimless crime. You know, there's no one being hurt. There's no one else being in danger but the rider themselves. So they turn the other cheek and they let it go. Like,
I, for the most part, agree with you. I just got sent a DM the other day because I did a story way back in the day covering a Milwaukee burnout kind of scene, and a girl whose parents own that parking lot, she sent me a DM just the last week saying her parents had to shut down shop because their parking lot got torn up so many times, and the cost to repave it, that they just couldn't take it anymore, and they folded their cards.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I mean, that sounds like a specific business that at one point facilitated that, and I don't know. At one point, they just said, okay, this is too much. The car scene is different than the bike scene. Let me start with that.
Okay.
The car scene is way different than the bike scene. I think the car scene here in Chicago couldn't be any more disassociated with the bike scene. You know, like they do take over intersections for 2, 3, 4 hours. The bikes, we don't take over anything for more than like 2 minutes. And we keep it moving. We're keeping it moving. We're not delaying traffic a bunch. If the police do come, we're not throwing rocks and fireworks and all that stuff at them. We're just giving them the peace and like, we're out of here, you know, see you later. You know, we understand they got a job to do. And I think they understand that we're going to ride regardless. So just give them that mutual respect and keep it moving.
What is a takeover?
A takeover, like a sideshow? By textbook, it's a group of cars that will go into an intersection, take it over, you know, drifting, doing donuts. And then, you know, as the West Coast kept going, because I think the Bay is where it really originated from, fireworks became incorporated, guns became incorporated, and then it became more and more of a social media phenomena. And there's huge takeover guys, just like there is huge stunt riders now.
So takeover is strictly the car scene. There's nothing, that's not a bike scene thing.
No, that is not a bike scene thing.
Okay. So the lean back, what is that?
That's a ride. So
Okay.
we have rides, they have takeovers. When I go out of town, or we host Lean Back here, we host Lean Back once a year here. It's a group of motorcycles that will meet up at a gas station, a hotel, a business, and we will go throughout the city and ride. And we're riding. We're not, you know, stopping at an intersection for 2-3 hours or whatever. We're showing those out of town riders what our city is, how we do things. Look at how beautiful this is. Look at our streets. Look at this. And, yeah, we've been doing that here for 8 years.
Isn't it kind of cool that a group of bikers can come together and you kind of, for your own day, for one day here, you kind of own the city? Like, it's kind of a cool way to do things.
It is cool. It's it's cool, but it's extremely like it's humbling that we can still do it because other cities they can't.